Hello, this is Dr. David Bilstrom from the International Autoimmune Institute and the Autoimmune Lifestyle, and this is Did You Know Modified. Now this is Did You Know because we want every community out there to have an expert in reversing and preventing autoimmune disease. Thus, the book that came out, The Nurse Practitioner's Guide to Autoimmune Medicine, Reversing and Preventing All Autoimmunity. But it's also a guide to do it yourself, because not every community, of course, has somebody that is the expert. So you might have to become your own expert for your own health, your child's health, your parents' health, your spouse's health, whatever it is. And we also have the experts course, the Paradigm program, Preventing and Reversing Autoimmune Disease in a Global Mission. The book is about the basics. Masters do the basics well. The course is for everything else. Now, you might need to be even better than the basics if you're trying to turn yourself around, a spouse around, a child around, or your community around. But what I want you to know is that, once again, you've heard this many times, is that if you know how to reverse and prevent autoimmune disease, you know how to reverse and prevent all disease. So we're going to do a little bit of a series here about what else are you going to be able to do. So how about this one? How about, here's this article published in Clinical Epigenetics 2015 entitled High Cortisol in 5-year-old Children Causes Loss of DNA Methylation in Syn retrotransposons, a possible role of ZNF263 in stress-related diseases. All those kind of fancy words, you know it's got to be important, right? Well, basically what they say is that they show that high cortisol levels cause a genome-wide decrease in DNA methylation. So the entire DNA, all the genes in 5-year-olds are messed up because of inability to methylate the genes, which causes bad genes to get turned on, good genes to get turned off, the whole flipping of epigenetics. So this stress goes down to the genes and which ones get turned on and turned off. And so I love the name of these kind of things. So here is a little, for the people that love funky stuff, the ZNF263, or zinc finger transcription factor. Oh, what a cool name, zinc finger transition factor. Now, this is preschool children. Our results show that stress in preschool children leads to DNA methylation similar to those seen in biologic aging. And this is exactly what you'd see with giving kids increased risk of depression, anxiety, heart attacks, and strokes as the years go on, but all the other childhood stuff here. So here you are, you're going to be able to take and prevent your children from having this. You're going to be able to prevent the children in your community as a healthcare practitioner from having this. Now, how can you do this? Well, stress is inherent in children. So what I tell kids when we see them, and we see a lot of kids, of course, is, hey, when I was in kindergarten, and the kids go, yeah? I said, when I was in kindergarten, you know what made you the best student in the entire class? And they go, what? Being a good napper and playing nice in the playground. And they're like, what? And I go, yeah, when I was a kid, if you were a good napper, you had your own mat, you were an A+ student. Well, nowadays, no, nap time here, no chance to play outside, right? We got to learn to read and write and do math and do all this kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, just inherently there's so much stress put on kids, even preschool kids, right? As well as all the socialization skills and all that kind of stuff that gets so challenging. So what you can do is, you maybe can't change what goes on in class, but you can change the stress in the kids, right? So you can teach the parents, we do all that, teach parent-child yoga, parent-child meditation, parent-child deep breathing, and the kids love it, and their bodies are so good, they can't really express this, it's kind of unconscious, that they love this and they know it makes them feel so good. They'll do it with parents 20 seconds. They may not be able to sit still, right? Especially kids with ADD, ADHD. May not be able to sit still for more than 20 seconds. Great. It's not how long you do it, right? It's the repetition. When the kids come home from school, a particularly stressful day, they won't be able to tell their parents it's a particularly stressful day probably, but they'll come to the parent and go, and it's the coolest thing, they come to the parent and go, hey mom, can we do that yoga together? And the parents are like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing, right? And so they'll ask for it because they can feel the stress. Now, as an adult, we tend to train ourselves not to listen to the body, don't listen to stress. But the kids unconsciously know this is so helpful, they'll actually ask to do yoga with the parents. Now you've taken this child and made a much happier child, and you prevent all the childhood diseases, right? And you're preventing disease as an adult, heart attack, stroke, depression, autoimmune disease. You're gonna be changing the kids in your community or the kids in your family if you're doing this on your own with the course and the book. What a wonderful way to do medicine, right? Oh, by the way, I'm coming to you from San Carlos, Mexico, trying to take care of my own cortisol here. Talk to you soon. Bye now.